All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the second game in this best of three series with BakaGoi versus A5. I'm excited for this second game. Hopefully, we can get a game three. I'm really hoping for it. I think maybe BakaGoi needed that warm up game, and they'll be right back into this one. Second game, second map is going to be Bind here. Baka is actually going to be starting on defense again here. So we'll see if they go for that triple sentinel pick again. I would rather see it on Bind. I think it's stronger on Bind than Ascend. Ascend is just a larger map, more open space, especially in that mid area. Joined again with Michael here. How'd you feel about that last game?
It was honestly a pretty big disaster for BakaGoi. Going 3-9 on defense with a triple sentinel comp is obviously just brutal and just kind of an unfortunate no show for BakaGoi. I think only really Deliver and maybe Baka went positive, and it was just kind of rough. They just kind of got swarmed every round, really couldn't hold a sight, and hopefully you see them do something completely different on this map. And it definitely looks like it. They're definitely going for a little bit more of a typical comp with the Sage, the Killjoy, and then the Jet Reyna duelist pair. And then on A5 side, going for pretty much their completely typical comp. We'll probably see Clinical pick up the Sova. So, a pretty typical pick ban for both teams.
Yeah, I wanted to say it last time before we took a break, but seeing Deliver on not a carry role, I think he usually plays Breach on this map, but does lock in that Reyna. So it'll be nice to see these two higher elo players Deliver and Triss, see if maybe they can frag out as Triss locks in that Jet, known for playing Jet on Bind. So we'll see how that goes. They do go for a double Sentinel lock in here. So that is fine. I think that's totally fine. Mid control isn't as important on Bind as it is with Ascent, but we'll see how they utilize that double Sentinel role as they start out on defense.
And I think even when you run that double Sentinel comp, it was still just weird what BakaGoi was doing in general, just kind of ignoring mid completely. And I think when they ran that, I don't know, they probably just weren't really prepared to have to run it, maybe. So obviously, it's really unfortunate for them. But we'll see, what kind of adjustments do they make on this map, especially because it's a very different map. Doesn't have a typical mid control. Obviously, it's probably a little bit less, super duelist carry style map, and a little bit more leans a little bit more on those sentinels.
Yeah, 5 members all on the A side of the map for A5 as the wall goes up mid to kind of slow them down as the arrow comes out and reveals a couple players. So as Triss takes out Experience out of Showers, A5 takes out Triss in Diamond, but Clue gets that trade, and Clue gets another pick here. Let's see if he can get a third one. As 2 more members are left alive, make that 1 more, and Clue almost gets that 4-piece, but gets taken out by Clinical, but delivers right there to trade it out. And that's a win for Baka on defense.
And I think that was a pretty interesting round where.
Yeah, I think actually that was a weird round because I was looking at, what was going on out of short, and they were walled off, so they're definitely slowed. But yet, Frosty and Experience went through Showers, so they kind of were, in a different timing, which is kind of rough because if you push out Showers and your team isn't short, you can't split the attention of the enemy team. So it makes it that much tougher when you split your team like that. If they could have came out short at the same time as Showers, I think there would have been more of a successful take from A5. But yeah, it's just tough when you can't split the attention of the team like that.
And part of it was A5 kind of made this interesting decision, deciding to just run through the smoke, and they almost didn't get punished for it, but Flu was able to hit that shot through the smoke to trade out on Frosty, and that pretty much won him the round, especially after he got those kills falling.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a slower round here in the second round, as 3 members of A5 are pushing into that hookah area onto B. Deliver sitting in elbow, see if maybe he can get a pick, get some information. Clinical pushes out, runs right past Deliver as 4 members are now on B. Clinical gets a pick on Baka, just sitting on site by himself. Clinical pushing that elbow area, gives a pick to deliver as Triss gets another pick onto Glass Gallus with that Marshall in hand. Shots coming out, Clue pushing out of CT to get some control of the side as the retake. Frosty dodging bullets, Clue getting the pick on the Frosty, Deliver getting another pick on the Experienced for successful retake from Baka.
That was, I think that was around that, very close to being a disaster for Baka, but, they held it together, and even though Triss ended up dying, they were able to get the kill. I believe it was Artemis. Yeah, it was Artemis who was almost killed Triss, but unfortunately they were not able to get that kill immediately, and they got traded before they could get the kill, before they could get out. And I think that pretty much stabilized the round for BakaGoi, who, did give up that opening pick and very much could have lost that round if A5 had been able to just hold on and get that kill, and I believe they would have been up 5v3.
It was a very, very good retake from Baka. They used, they split that attention with, one in elbow holding it down and the rest pushing out the CT here as Triss pushes out with that Marshall into showers, sees Alice, misses her, going for a repeat. As the 1v1 goes down with Alice, Alice gets the trade, has that Phantom in hand. As Diamond Saver gets pointed out from that Owl Drone, Experience gets to pick onto him. And it's a free retake here with all 5 members alive for A5 as Frosty gets that control pick into U-Haul. Baka getting the trade out of Heaven. It's going to be a 2v4 retake. Baka is incredibly low, sitting in Heaven, but we can see here that Frosty is pushing Heaven, gets the pick on to Baka, making it a 1v4 retake. And they all know where Deliver is, and they take him down, secure a win. Now it's 2-1 here in the first half.
Yeah, and that was, I think, just on the bonus round, you kind of just accept that you have a very, very high chance of losing that. I think Triss did get a little bit ambitious, might be the right word, in showers, where, he thinks he can get that kill with that Marshall, and almost called it a scout, with that Marshall, and unfortunately gives up that opening pick, and it maybe doesn't change anything, but it's definitely a little bit overly aggressive for him.
Yeah, wall goes down in short as Triss gets a pick with that op sitting on top of truck. A good angle to have. It's a big kill onto one of their fraggers. And we'll see how A5 can recuperate from this as 4 members are leaning more towards that B side. 2 in Hookah, Reyna and Omen. And the bomb is long by itself with Artemis. Ult comes out from Frosty as Frosty gets a pick on the Clue. That's big, big, big kills here as they don't know that Deliver is actually in this elbow area. Bomb taking a little while, going down. Gets the pick, stops the bomb plant as Deliver gets 2 huge frags to stop the bomb and take out their fragger. Baka gets a kill and Triss secures that win with an op shot onto Clinical.
Definitely just an incredibly well-played round out of Deliver, just waiting very patiently, breaking that turret. Just sitting behind the smoke fades, is able to kill the bomb planter, and then Frosty tries to swing and is able to immediately kill that too. And that's just an absolutely incredibly, well done, fundamentally well played round where, doesn't make the mistake to throw the round, doesn't push through the smoke, and basically just carries it around with those 2 kills.
Yeah, that's a big, big mistake coming out from A5, not clearing that elbow area. They kind of just think, oh, we have sight, we're good, but, that's a big, big mistake coming from them. So hopefully they can clear it up in this next round as 5 members of A5 are leaning in that A side area. They're all short A. And they don't know that there's actually 3 members from Baka on this side. Nay goes out in the back to clear some space, but doesn't look like A5 want to follow up with that. Triss is sitting at a cheeky angle down long B as it looks like A5 is moving towards that side. Clinical gets a kill onto Frosty. They do see Triss, and Triss gets taken up by Frosty, actually. Excuse me. And that is a clear sign that they want to go B here. 3 members are long as Baka is sitting in sight, or in elbow, excuse me. Delays a plant with their util. Ult goes down from Artemis. And we'll see how this plays out. Ult's in the middle of sight, so Baka just walks out, destroys it. No pressure whatsoever from that ult. As we get to a 3v4 retake with Experience taking a 1v1, one deliver into Hookah, gets the pick. Now it's a 2v4 retake in favor of A5. Let's see if they can get it done. Diamond Savior is trying to heal up as both members of Baka are in the CT area. They don't really have time to mess around here, and it does look like they're going to try and save.
Probably the best decision there is definitely just going to be the save. It doesn't seem like they have any real chance of winning the round. I believe there's a Killjoy Molly on the bomb combined with the turret. Even if they do get site control, there's almost no way that they can actually make a defuse. So just saving, getting those guns for the next round, make sure that they have them. And, if I'm BakaGoi, I definitely consider, maybe shuffling your guns around. You can maybe make a buy happen here, or just playing for the next round with those guns. Maybe even trying to save them for the next, saving for your next full buy.
Yeah, it looks like they can't really force up too much on this round. There's going to be a separated buy for Baka. And the op coming out for Clinical. On attack, that's interesting. I don't know how I feel about ops coming out on attack. You can only do so much on attack as Triss tries to peek out and gets that pick on Experience, but doesn't find a knife and falls back. Deliver gets tagged by the drone. It gets hit by the ult from the Sova on A5. Wall is still up on short, so they don't have that much pressure. That ult goes out as Deliver can survive. Nate comes out to create some space. 3 members of A5 are sitting in short. They are smoked off, so they feel not as confident as Frosty gets taken out by Clue. Clinical gets that insane op shot. I think that was a no-scope.
Also think that was a no-scope.
Deliver getting that pick. Does have the ult up. Empress in hand. Let's see if they can get it done. 2 members left alive for A5. Clinical with that op in showers. Let's hopefully see they can hold it. But it doesn't look like they can as the dash comes out from Triss and takes out Clinical. That's a big, big, big mistake from Clinical, giving the op to a Jet on defense. As Alice is the only one alive with bomb on B. Killjoy Util still set up here. We'll see if Alice can clutch it up, but takes a lot of damage from those post-plant mollies. As 4 members of Baka are trying to get back on there, and they do. They take out Alice full blind, but doesn't really matter for them. And they secure a win, putting them 4-2 in the first half.
Much better start for BakaGoi so far. Seemingly a little bit more comfortable on bind. It's definitely a little bit less of a stretched out map. They can separate their 2 really, really skilled players, their higher ranked players, onto each site instead of having to worry about mid control. And they can definitely just hold sites in a little bit more of a clean fashion with that way, especially because Killjoy is so effective at denying that bomb plant on B and being able to stall out so well. They've just done a really good job with just, being very stable on their defense.
Yeah, wall going out. Again, I think that's just going to happen every round to slow them down, make A5 think, what do we do? That wall's up. Can we do something about it? Experienced blast backs across short to get some information, sees the op, doesn't want to mess with it. And it looks like A5 is going to be jumping out onto the B site. Deliver yet again in that elbow. Do they go in here and check and just make sure that he can do something? Flash goes out from Deliver onto the elbow area. Clue jumping in here. Gets a pick on the Artemis. Clinical gets a return frag. Deliver pushing out. Doesn't see that Frosty is to his right. Gets taken out. And it's a 2v3 retake for Baka. This is doable. A5 are kind of on a short buy as Baka pushes out on the side to try to get it. Frosty gets to pick on the Baka, and Clinical gets that remaining last kill on the Diamond Saber to secure around 4 A5 and pushing up to 3. Close game here in the first half. You'd love to see it.
Definitely a lot closer than the last game was so far. And I would like to point out that I don't know how Clinical doesn't die there. I think there must have been some kind of miscommunication on where Clinical was, because somebody died to him and then Triss was back site and just completely ignored him. So it seems that there was some kind of miscommunication on BakaGoi's part.
Yeah, that was kind of a mess on both sides of the board. But Triss is getting some space here. Out of showers. That's a lot of information. No one showers, but that just means everyone is short for A5 as they push out onto A. Frosty checks that showers, gets a pick on Triss. He doesn't know that Clue is actually here as well. But Clue can't hold it down, gets taken up by Frosty. And it's a free take here for A5. Bomb goes down onto A. And it's a 5-man hold with an ult on that raise. So we'll see if maybe they can hold it down. It's a 2v5 take, so it just looks like Baka wants to work for those exit frags, and we'll see how it goes. That was really interesting to see, you know, two players from Baka trying to get that information out of showers and leaving that one person short to get picked off.
It was a weird round, and you know, if I'm BakaGoi there, and I think maybe Jets should have just smoked the turret and ran past. Maybe that was, you know, maybe that's another idea for what they could have done, but unfortunately they both came back kind of staggered out of showers, and both of them got picked off individually, but they definitely could have made that flank work.
Yeah, one thing you want to do if you're looking to get information out of showers and you're looking to take shower control and you have 3 on A, is you want that third member to play backside for a potential retake. If you have that one person fighting short, it's very, very tough for the remainder of your team to kind of assist you. You know, you don't want to take those 1v1s or the 1v3s, 1v2s. And that's what they did. That one person should have played back. I believe it was the Omen.
Definitely just want to play a lot safer, and absolutely insane shot out of Deliver. Gets traded back by Clinical.
Experience throws out the showstopper in short, but he is walled off. Shoots it, gets nothing out of it. As Clue is on the other side to trade him out. A5 are all onto the side of B. Alice picks out Baka, just sitting on site. And it is now a 3v3 retake for Baka. Triss takes that elbow control. That's big, big, big stuff. The alarm bot reveals where he is. Clue takes out Artemis. Diamond takes out Alice. And Clue gets that last kill into Clinical. It's a clean, clean retake for Baka. They got that elbow control. I think elbow control is incredibly important. You eliminate so much when you push in that elbow and make sure no one's there, because now you can say, hey, there's no one elbow. They have to be long, or they have to be hookah or on site. And that's what they did.
Creates a pinch on the site players where anybody playing on site now has to deal with 2 separate angles instead of just the one, and you know, giving up that elbow control can oftentimes be really disastrous for for the planting team.
100%. You know, Baka is playing much, much better on this map. And, you know, A5, they aren't playing bad. They have 4 wins on attack. All you really need is 5 or 6 to give yourself a lead here. Triss pushes out mid to get a lot of information. Sees 2 members at least from A5. Frosty takes a diamond as he tries to put up that wall. Sova Era comes out, reveals a couple. Triss gets a kill onto Alice as she's trying to push out. Clinical gets the trade on Clue with that Sova ult. Frosty pops Empress, trying to take that U-Haul control as the bomb goes down on A. It's a 3v4 retake in favor of A5 as Deliver gets a pick on the Clinical, make it a 3v3. Deliver is low. Frosty pushes out into the backside, gets a pick on Baka and Deliver. Big, big, big frags here as he sees Triss and gets that 4K. What a big round for Frosty.
Just doing what he did last map, where, you know, able to get those kills and then just, you know, frag out extremely well, as you know, taking all those 1v1s and winning all of them. And unfortunately for BakaGoi, they weren't able to get that Killjoy ult off, because that definitely could have been, you know, the key to winning the round. But Baka gets picked off by Frosty before he's able to get it down, and then Frosty obviously gets the 2 kills following. So really just well played round out of A5. Unfortunately, the Sage Wall didn't go up in an effective way, and you know, it leads to them being able to win the round.
Flash comes out from Clue, but Alice is able to get the pick onto him as he pushes out. Trish trying to get the trade, pushes up into Hookah. Maybe they don't suspect it, but Alice doesn't want anything to do with that. Trish dashes out to try to see if maybe he can get the trade here. Alice is incredibly low. If he can get one knife here, he does. and whiffs the remaining knives. And the TPs come out from A5 as the bomb is actually going down on A. Totally baited Baka. As 4 members just rush out onto B. Just to see if they can retake. I love to see it. That's what I was going to say last round is... Whew. Excuse me, as Experience just pushes into spawn and gets 3 big frags on the Baka. And Frosty gets that last kill onto Triss to secure a win for A5.
Last round.
And BakaGoi kind of just took the bait over on the B side. The 2 people that were pushing up long are just able to jump in the teleporter. Bomb's already going down on A, and Experience is able to take so much control on the map. And unfortunately, BakaGoi just has no real ability to counter that, leaving them on a relatively broken buy.
Yeah, I was gonna say it last break, but you know, A5 is winning these rounds because they're just out fragging them straight off the bat. You know, they're not Baka's not playing retake. And there Baka tried to play retake, but they actually got baited as Liver tries to push out yet again, gets picked off by Experience here in long. That's a clear sign that they want to push this B side. They know Baka's here. Triss TPs, gets that pick on the clinical, dashes forward. That's a big pick. Yet another TP play coming out from A5. They were going to get pinched. What a great TP as the flash comes out from Reyna out of showers. Diamond, Savior, the only one left on this site so far as Frosty actually gets a collateral headshot kill on Diamond, Savior, and Baka. Incredible frags coming out from Frosty as Frosty gets a full blind kill onto Trist. You could do whatever you want to this man, he's still going to kill you. Oh my god, a clue. Picking up intense frags here out of short. Man, I can't even speak. There's so much going on. But ultimately, A5 gets that win and makes it a 7-5 half. What a good half for A5 to put themselves up a lot. They're looking very good in the second half. We'll see how it goes down, but man, what a round.
Yeah. At the end there, just absolutely insane shots hit by everyone pretty much. But obviously a really good half for A5. I think A5 would have been happy with the scoreline reversed 5-7, but 7-5 is obviously going to be an excellent half on offense on pretty much any map. And here we'll see what they're able to do on defense. But if it looks like their defense from the last game, which we only saw a very brief showing of, you know, they should be well on their way to the grand final.
Cover going out.
As we can see from the scoreboard, Frosty dropping 20 kills in the first half as 5 members are looking for an aggressive push onto A as Triss catches Alice reloading into U-Haul. 1 member left on the A side in heaven as the bomb goes down onto A. Frosty pushes out of showers, gets that pick onto Deliver as he keeps going. Experience gets that other frag as 3 members are now pushing onto the site of A to try to get a pick here. Baka gets a kill on Clinical out of U-Haul. The retake is commencing. Clue catches that one person pushing from short, and now it's a 2v2. Who is going to win this one? Frosty gets a pick there, but Clue is able to get the last 2 kills to secure the round. What a clutch by Clue.
A great round by Clue, too. Just playing well. They're able to hold on. Unfortunately, for A5, they just weren't quite able to make that retake happen, but really well played round out of BakaGoi, taking very, very quick U-Haul control using the jet dash. I think they used the Sage wall a little bit in an unfortunate way, but, you know, I believe their Sage player is relatively inexperienced and is kind of a new player. But unfortunately, they did wall off short instead of walling off the site itself, which is maybe a small mistake that will have to
Another hard push coming out from A5 as Deliver gets a pick onto Alice into short. Trish just straight stashed up into U-Haul yet again with that shotgun. Judge pushing into spawn with that Judge to see if maybe he can catch somebody off. Bomb is going down onto A. Trish does get the pick on Experience into spawn. He gets another kill onto Frosty in the spawn as it's now a 1v5 retake for Artemis with the shorty. That's not the gun you want on a retake. Does absolutely 0 damage as Trist pushes up with the shotgun, but Artemis, that shorty actually overpowers that Judge at closer range. Wall is up short, so Artemis can't really do too much as, you know, 4 members of Baka are just staring. And Deliver gets that last kill on Artemis.
It's definitely the correct decision for Artemis there. You obviously don't want to save the shorty, so just kind of walking in and dying. Getting that kill on Triss is obviously, you know, it's not super impactful, but it's kind of a feel-good kill for Artemis there, and definitely not wanting to survive the round at all. Don't want to, you know, experience that economic disadvantage of surviving. So, well played for Artemis in that, you know, in that full save round.
Oh, this is interesting. A5 is giving a 4-person stack onto B, as it looks like Baka's going to try to do that big push yet again here onto A. We'll see what goes on here, as now 5 members of Baka are pushing out. Experience dashes out, gets picked. Experience gets that nade kill in return on Diamond Savior. 5 members are still alive for A5 as they're just completely funneling into short. Baka's getting just picked after pick after pick. And now it's only 2 members, a 2v5 situation for Baka. Deliver flashes out short, gets a pick onto Experience, eased out, only 37 health left into short. Baka on the other side. Flash comes out from Deliver, but Alice is able to get the kill onto Deliver and turns and gets that headshot onto Baka. And man, what a great stack onto A. What a good read from A5.
Idea, just basically just saying, like, we know Frosty can hold B site, and even if he can't hold it, he's either going to get multiple kills before dying, or just give up the site and be able to play that 5-5 retake. So just committing to the 4-man A, you know, kind of expecting this full A rush, especially with, you know, having seen what BakaGoi were doing, just committing on that 4-man A, and just basically just a round-winning idea.
What a great run from A5, and I think now they realize that, hey, they're probably not going to do that again after we just, you know, pooped on them a little bit. So Baka is now leaning more towards that B side.
Both Artemis and Frosty playing on this B site. Looks like Experience is leaning over to the side of the map.
The alarm bot is in U-Haul from Artemis. Does get a lot of information, lots of bullets going down, letting them know that at least 2 players are in hookah. Some damage, I think, did come off as Frosty does get a pick on Diamond Saber as he tries to jump out. Ult comes out from Experience into hookah, gets that kill on to Deliver as Artemis gets that headshot pick on the Baka. Nay coming out into garden area as Triss is now the only one in this area. And he's looking at 3 members as Clue gets a kill onto Alice. Out of the TP, Frosty puts into Octagon area, gets the kill onto Triss. Clue gets another kill on the Clinical. It's a 1v3 situation with Artemis low. Experience is rotating A, but Frosty pushes out and gets that last kill on Clue. It's now 7-9 in this half in favor of A5. I think that was just a good round coming out from A5. It's a great hold. Frosty getting the picks he needed. Artemis getting the return or getting other picks along that side as well. And, you know, the showstopper comes out just to help out just a little bit. And that was a big round.
Get out of my way.
As 3 members of Baka are leaning towards that B side. Frosty pushes out, gets a pick on the Clue, and that's the bomb. They know the bomb is more towards B side. So Baka or A5 is rotating towards that B side. But they don't know that 2 members of Baka are actually pushing into showers here. Maybe they can catch someone off guard as Saver pushes out to get that wall down and gets taken out in return for the wall. Experience holding down that A side as the bomb is coming down short. Alice in a cheeky angle in short. Hopefully they can figure something out. Frosty pushes it into heaven, gets the pick onto Triss out of showers. Alice catches Baka off guard, knows the bomb is there, and kills Deliver to secure a round, pushing them 10-7.
A5 just playing extremely well in this defense so far. After losing those first 2 rounds, you know, quickly winning these next 3 rounds, Frosty, you know, once again having an absolutely monster game. And it kind of seems like BakaGoi is just kind of disjointed, struggling to trade frags, especially on this offense. Not really having a very coordinated offensive push, and just kind of getting stalled out very easily. And also, you know, when they run into anyone, they're really struggling to just get any trade kills.
Yeah, I think what they need to do here is utilize their util a little bit more. Frosty's just getting too much space with no punishment for it. They have 2 people with flashes on their team. They have dashes. They have nades. They just need to start using their util. And it looks like 5 members of Baka are now pushing up B long. They're about to run into the best player in the league, and Deliver's actually going to be able to take out Frosty, which is a big frag, as that leaves Artemis on that B side alone. Ult goes down from Baka. Get some space. Experience is thinking about that nade. The drone comes out from Artemis. But Baka is pushing out. The wall comes down from stage. Kind of delaying their push just a little bit more as Deliver gets a pick onto Alice. Artemis gets a return frag on Trist. Experience gets a kill onto Diamond. It's a 1v3 situation. If he's going to be clutch, he's going to do it right now. One more kill to get the nade. That's all he needs. 3 members. So Experience gets a pick on Clue. 2 more left. Deliver's able to get the penetrated headshot onto Experience. That was a close one. They almost lost that one. But Baka secures that one, and it's now 8-10. Closer game. Hopefully we can see Baka pull together. They did exactly what they needed to do. They grouped up. They used their util. They killed the best player. They know the best player is playing B. And I think they should have learned that only 2 players are playing B. And the reason for that, I think, is because Frosty is the better player. So they can only have 2 players there. So now they're triple stacking A. So we'll see what they do with that information. Five members of A5 or Baka are in this A area as Experience tries to push up to get some information, throws the nade out, falls back. 3 members of A5 are sitting on A. They are splitting the attention here. Let's see if maybe they could use some util to get something done. Experience gets a pick on the Clue into showers. The drone coming out. Spots Baka. Baka gets shot through that short box as Triss gets a kill with a shotgun. Another kill on the last Alice. It's now a 2v3 situation in favor of A5.
1 enemy remaining.
Clinical gets another kill with that Odin on the Diamond Savior, stopping the plant. And another kill onto Deliver. I believe that was a 3. That was a 3K there for Deliver with that Odin. Good hold.
Triss almost being able to rip that open with that Judge push, but Clinical able to stabilize with that Odin, and unfortunately for BakaGoi, that's just another, it's another round loss, letting A5 get up to 11 rounds, and if you look at the economy, BakaGoi's economy is, relatively poor, and they're probably going to have to give up match point to be able to have the...
They're definitely going to give up match point here. Unless they play close angles, it's going to be incredibly tough, but it looks like we are getting a pause called out here. Believe it's some technical difficulties, but that gives us some time to reflect on what's going on here. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, Baka doesn't have a good buy. They're going to have to hold close angles and play together. I believe... Actually, they're on attack, so they can't hold close angles. But I think they need to play together. That's the big deal. They need to be able to trade each other. That's big. Because if they can get a trade, they can get a trade, and they can get that gun in return. Frosty sitting on that op. Artemis holding that ult to see if maybe they tried to go B. The wall coming onto Sage long to kind of stop Frosty from pushing out. Very interesting wall. I don't think that was the way to go. You kind of block another section of, the map that you want to take. But it's just like 3 members are going into U-Haul, or Hookah, excuse me. But that bomb does come down from Artemis as the ult comes out from Sova. Frosty gets a pick onto Clue. Triss dashes on the side onto A as Alice gets the returning frag on to Deliver. Let's see if maybe Triss can get this done. Push into U-Haul. Let's see if maybe he can get the pick with the shotgun. He does get the pick. Maybe that's a gun. That's 3 members of Baka onto A side. Gets that pick. Experience in heaven. He gets that pick onto Diamond Savior.
1 enemy remaining.
Experience pulls out that ult. Gets the kill onto Triss. And it's only a 1v3 retake here. With the last member of Baka trapped in U-Haul. Let's see if Baka can maybe get some sort of pick. But Frosty gets the jumping shotgun shot on the Baka. And now that is now match point for A5. Very close round. I think maybe if they work for those guns and they might be able to get some sort of victory here, but they can't pull it together. But now I believe they should have guns.
Definitely have guns for this last round, which is, part of the reason why they saved last round, definitely. Unfortunately for last round, the Sage was not able to get the res off before dying, which I think definitely could have been the round winning, definitely could have been a round winning res, if the Sage had been able to res the Reyna, who, Deliver, I'm sure, could have fragged out on that round.
Yeah, very, very close round, but ultimately goes to A5, and we'll see what Baka can do here as 4 members are pushing into that long B area. Hopefully, they're not running and making a lot of noise. It does look like they are.
Bomb grenade out.
You know, Frosty is pushing out, getting a lot of information into mid sands area as 4 members are coming on to B. Triss stashing on the side as the turret is checking him out. Weird wall coming out from Sage, kind of funneling the team through that wall
One
as
enemy remaining.
so many
Spike
frags
down
coming
B.
out from all of A5 as they just absolutely demolish Baka trying to take that site. And that's the game, and that's the series.
Stop playing
A5 take a 2-0 on bind. What a great, great defensive side coming out from A5. That was very, very beautiful. Frosty with another carry. And hopefully we'll get an interview soon. But what do you think about that game, Mike?
Pretty much just the. It wasn't quite as bad as Ascent. Wasn't quite as big of a carry, but it was pretty much the exact same problem where BakaGoi just cannot trade out on Frosty. Frosty's able to just run wild, get all the kills, never gets traded, pretty much just never dies, and just pushes everything, takes all the 1v1s, and BakaGoi was just never able to contain that problem.
Yeah, and Frosty was telling me that, he's gonna show up. He's been practicing a lot, in the first beginning of the season, he didn't take it too seriously, and I think most people in this, league weren't really taking the tournament seriously. It's a for fun tournament, but you can't be upset when you lose if you're not taking it seriously, right? And Frosty was kind of tired of losing, so he took it upon himself to get back out there and start practicing. And now he's just an absolute carry god, experienced, obviously improving throughout the season as well. And that's exactly what they need to bring them into the finals, and they did it. It's going to be a TKJ versus A5 finals. You'd love to see it. Caster versus Caster. Hopefully, we can get an interview here with one of the members of A5. And it looks like we have a couple.
Yeah, I think we
Hi,
have a
so
couple.
I'm Goask Alice, and I'm the captain of A5, and I just wanted to introduce our player. She's A5 Artemis, and she is our Sentinel player, and we love her dearly, and she is the clutch queen. That's all I have to say about her.
Hello.
Hello, what's going on, guys? How do you feel about that 2-game win there?
I feel like, it's really business as usual. I mean, we constantly bring it every game we play, so I can understand why we would win.
Wow, very confident words coming out of Artemis there. And I want to ask you,
Of
how
course.
important is Frosty in this matchup? Because it is,
Hmm.
your highest ranking player in the
I
league.
mean, to be completely honest, he does frag out a lot, and he usually is at the top. But we gotta have the little people to get those impact frags. So
Yeah, definitely in the
gotta
first
play as a
game.
team.
Alice was definitely popping off in that first game. Have to give her
Absolutely.
that. Experienced, popping off regardless in both games. Have to give it up for him. How do you feel going into the finals against the Kings of Drama?
I think it's just an honor. I think it's gonna be fun, and I think we're definitely gonna give them a run for their money.
I agree. I think it's going to be one of the best matches of all time. And I want to ask you this, Artemis. Who do you personally think is the MVP for the playoffs?
I don't know. I'm pretty biased on this subject because I would have to say Frosty has shown a lot of great skills throughout this series.
All right, there you have it. Artemis gave Frosty her vote. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, he brings it come next week on finals day. It's going to be a best of 5. Do you guys think you have what it takes to hold out all those 5 games?
Absolutely. Our mental
All
is
right.
pristine.
That's good to hear. You're going to need it. All right. Do you have anything, Michael?
No, I don't. It's obviously great to hear from Artemis for the interview, and I just want to say it was obviously a very great match for A5. They played extremely well, and well, it's definitely going to be an exciting match. I probably will be the caster. We'll have to decide on the time yet, based on the availabilities.
For sure.
But we'll hopefully have some exciting casters for you next week, as we did this week, and
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be able to have a great match next week.
Also, I just wanted to say thank you to the staff. I mean, you guys have been awesome. I know that you guys don't have to do this, but thank you for coming out on your Sunday to support us and to cast for us. You guys are constantly bringing it and making it fun to play. So thank you guys.
It's our pleasure. And there you have it, folks. A5 takes the series against Baka 2-0, pushing them into the finals. It's going to be a great series. Stay tuned for that. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you in the finals.